Hello there, guys and girls. It's PapaNog. So, today, what we're going to discuss is the different classes, and we'll also discuss some of the statistics and how that works. I'm on my warrior at the moment. Here you can see warrior mage. So, I have some skills in warrior and I have some skills in mage. It's really up to your preference what you would like to choose. I personally really like the magic shield. That 45% damage reduction is really nice, especially against magic for my warrior. Magic damage is probably where I die the most. There's quite a few mobs that can just one-shot the warrior because he doesn't have a lot of intellect, which increases your magic defense. And so you want to find some way of mitigating that magical damage. That's why I chose to be Warrior Mage, so that I get that extra 45% damage reduction. And it just stops me from dying a lot. And then obviously teleport is a really nice way to get around. As the warrior, you also have shield charge, and it works quite well because you can't really get blocked. When you use it, you'll go around obstacles instead of just... I might as well show you. So if we go in here and I'm against the wall, instead of getting blocked, my guy will try to travel around it, which is really nice. I think a lot of other games that you play, shield charge doesn't work as effectively. So let me find a corner over here. Let's say there's this. Instead of just going against it, he moves around and he actually attacks the enemies around him. So you can see that it works quite nicely in terms of chargeability. Not many chargeabilities work this way, so I think that actually works quite well. Let me just get back to town. All right. So you can go warrior. It won't affect your ability to move too much. I personally still prefer teleport, because instead of going around things, you can obviously just teleport directly past it. Like here in the corner, I can just teleport onto the bridge, etc. So I prefer teleport, but it's really up to you. I think what you're really looking for when you want to choose whether you want a warrior or a mage or an archer is the skill that you're going to be using primarily. Most people choose mage or warrior because you have whirlwind on the warrior, which allows you to move and attack at the same time. So it's nice for grinding and farming, because you can just, go from the beginning of the stage to the end, killing everything in the path. The mage has this magic orbit, very much the same. It's a sort of a passive damaging skill that flies around you. So you don't have to worry too much about that. You can just run around and it will kill everything. Whereas the archer, you have to stop an attack. That being said, the two strongest attacks are this one over here, multi-missile from the mage, and this one over here, multi-shoot from the archer. They work very much the same. It's like a shotgun skill is what it's called. So if you're close enough to something, multiple arrows can hit the same target, which means it does obviously a lot more damage, and each one has a chance of proccing things. And exactly the same for multi-missile. So they feel like very much the same characters. What you're looking for on the warrior is stone skin, because this bonus to armor is great. You're also looking for these shields because they can block ranged attacks, and you very often die from magical ranged attacks. So it's a really nice skill to have. In terms of AoE, taking out mobs, that's really good. In terms of single target, this is probably your strongest attack. Again, with a mage, AoE, single target. This also works quite well. There are a few mana bomb builds. I have not yet made one myself, but I am told that it's not as good. Sometimes in arena, this frozen aura can be useful. So if you want to, you can put 1 point into that and see how that works out for you. If I wanted more damage, I would go warrior, archer, because you can get this right here, which will increase your magical and physical damage. So that increases your base damage, adding to a lot more damage. The one thing about the archer is that you have tumble. It's not a great way to get around, which is probably why a lot of people will go archer mage or archer warrior. Mage obviously for these skills, teleport, and as well as the magic shield. But you could go like archer warrior, and then you'd be able to get a little bit of defensiveness in terms of physical damage, but then also these whirling shields would be able to stop quite a lot of missiles that hit you. So yeah, it's up to you how you want to play it and what you want to do. For the most part, these two do a lot of physical damage, the warrior and the archer, whereas the mage does mostly magical damage. Pretty much only magical damage. So let's quickly talk about some of the stats. For the moment, strength is what you'll do 0.2% to physical damage for each point of strength. It also gives you armor, which is why you can have a really nice armor stat and do physical damage with the warrior. Dexterity only gives 0.1 and adds to attack speed, but it's really easy to max out attack speed. So even most archers would prefer to put their points into strength instead of dexterity, because it gives double the amount of damage. And really that's what's you're looking for in this game, is to try and increase your damage, that you can get onto the higher content, that you can get better equipment, etc. So yeah, I haven't yet seen any builds that use dexterity. I do have a few ideas that might help the devs improve dexterity, but that's going to be for a later video. In terms of intellect, this is one of the reasons why people really like the mage as well, because you're getting a lot of magical resistance, you're getting a lot of just everything. The damage, the magical resistance, increased mana regen, so you don't need any form of mana regen on any of your items. And it just helps you out quite a lot. And then obviously vitality gives you more life and health regen, which is quite useful. You can see that in general you're getting quite a lot of physical defense from your items. For example there, 19,000. So on the mage you're getting really high physical defense from your items, whereas if you look at this amulet over here, it only gives you 3,500 magical resistance. So generally the mage is probably going to be your tankiest, highest damage output character. And I did mention this before, I don't really like the fact that it's not that balanced. With my mage, I can usually face check things, just go directly right next to them and blast off my multi missiles, and then most things will just melt away and die. When I made an archer, I tried to stand in front of things and use multi-shoot, and I very often just got one shot. With my warrior, I can usually face check things until there's some magical damage, and then I die very, very quickly. So, it's up to you. You'll see here on until I get my items up, I need to put a lot of magical resistance gems into my gear just to survive, just to be able to farm. Hopefully I can find another way to mitigate that once I get the tier 6 items and I'm able to infuse and get all of those working. But yeah, that's pretty much the different classes, and that's the different stats over here and how it works. Good luck, guys. Have a lovely one. Ciao for now. Bye.